Hey,
There you go.
Hang on a second, guys. You guys, let me start.
Holy smoke!
Hey,
You turkey. Those look like they're finished and ready to fly.
No, they're not. I came home today and had a package from Australia. These are all from Brian Ether. They're unfinished. They still got flash on them. I got to sand and balance them.
But that's not near as bad as the ones I got from somebody else. I'm not going to say online, but I got some that had flash and 1/4 inch around the outsides of it. I ain't kidding you.
Mike, make sure you do that in a bucket of water.
I've already got the instructions from Brian on how to do it safely without getting cut and without breathing a whole bunch of crap. But I ended up with I got 375 props, 361 props, and 365 props. So 9 props total from Australia. And I tell you what, I think 3 weeks is when I ordered these, and he got them to me. He made them and got them to me in 3 weeks.
What was your total bill? Shipping and everything?
$406 for 9 props.
That's about right.
$24 shipping. So it was, they're 39 a piece. 39 a piece, and then with PayPal and all that, it was 406 US.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. Well, I told y'all Friday night I had not had any luck getting those Joker motors. Well, I got online Saturday morning, I think it was, and Joker had contacted me and got it all straightened out. 2 of them on the way.
What are they? Jokers?
The motors that Tran uses in his plane.
Oh, okay, the electric ones. Yeah, Tran just left a minute ago.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get. Sparky and I haven't gotten together on the price on that Air Tiger 36 yet. So.
Oh, Sparky's got one?
He's got one, but he hasn't. I don't know how much he's wanting for it yet. I told him I'd take it, but
I saw Sparky at Dayton yesterday. Sam and I stopped in Dayton on our way home from Detroit, and I bought an Aero Tiger from him while I was there.
Uh-oh.
I'll be darned. They already sold.
No, I just
okay. I've been trying to clean my shop up, and mine still has not appeared. It may be down there, but
you have one you can't find?
Yeah, I had one that was out on the table, and I was working on my new Cavalier, and it goes in the Cavalier. And some friends came over from out of town, and when they left, I have not seen my motor since.
Oh,
however, there's enough junk downstairs that I'm not going to say it's not there.
Yeah.
But I can't get the plane going because I can't find the motor. So
yeah, somebody could have picked it up and looked at it, set it down.
Yeah, if you move it, I can't find it. My wife teases me. She says, if I want to keep something from you, I put it in plain sight. If I hide it, you'll find it. But if I put it in plain sight, you'll miss it. And she's done that a time or two. She bought me years ago those little iPods were popular. The little iPod you put in your pocket. Yeah. Well, she laid it on the floor, bought 3 of them for the grandkids, and I never tried to count them. There were 4 of them laying there. The 4th one was mine. Has my name laser etched on the back of it. I still carry that thing. And I never even suspected. I said, well, you sneaky little. I got a good one, but I'm telling you what, she can be a handful sometimes.
That's the best kind.
Yeah.
I'm still rocking an iPod, Phil. I still have 2 iPods, and my younger friends make fun of me. They're like, you still got your music on an iPod? How come you're not streaming it? And I'm like, because I got 20,000 songs on this thing, and the battery still works. Why would I change formats?
I've got that other version too. I don't remember what it's called. I'd go get it and show it to you.
I got the Nano is the small one, and then there's the original bigger one.
Well, I've got the Nano. I've got the Nano that's an iPad. That was Apple. Then I've got the other manufacturer that was I can't remember who it was, but I've got movies. I've got 5 movies on that thing.
Yeah.
And 10,000 songs.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of my stuff, man.
I'm not switching it either. I'm with you, Phil.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
I am just chomping at the bit. I know you got other things ahead of it, but I can't wait for you to start that Pathfinder.
I'll tell you what I think about. I'm thinking I'm thinking that plane's going to be a pain in the butt. And the reason I say that is because the rest of my plans are in a box in the basement. That one and the Ombre are beside my bed. That one's going to cause me trouble.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going to end up building that one out of sequence. Can we say?
Yeah. Well, let me know when you need some color pictures. I've got a bunch of them that I can send
Okay.
you.
Well, tell me something. One dumb question, and I'll shut up and let y'all get back to topic. You did in Tucson a few years back, the year I was there, you had a Pathfinder there. It was not the LE because it was not a pipe, but it was a Pathfinder built up, full body. Yeah, what was that?
Well, first off, that was Gordon with Gordon's airplane. His is an
No,
LE.
it was you. No, it was you.
It was me. Well, then it was my LE does not have a pipe. You know,
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why.
yeah, the design is set up to if you want, you can have a pipe. It can be accommodated, or I use a stalker with a rear exhaust and a muffler, and it accommodates that as well.
I might just do that because I'm really getting tired of chasing holes and leaks, and
Yeah, yeah.
Where is it?
it's great. It's fine for a contest plane, top tier contest plane, but I'm old enough now. I realize I'm never going to beat Paul Walker, so I think I'm going to just build something and have fun.
Paul Walker is not going to beat Paul Walker at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, the last time I saw him, he ain't lost a whole. He may have lost a step, but he ain't lost many.
Let
Paul
me
still.
tell you, where he lives, he has his own private flying field,
Oh yeah,
and he can go out and fly every day,
yeah.
as many flights as he wants, and he practices. He refines his design. He's got that long-nosed electric impact now.
Yeah.
They jokingly call it the anteater out here.
Yep.
And you know, Paul Walker is more about having fun with stunt right now. Oh, he'll beat the pants off you.
That's what it's supposed to be all about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll beat the pants off you though, but he's having fun while he's doing it. That's why
Yeah.
he built the B-17 was for fun.
Well,
But
I
that
tell you
thing
what, I saw that thing, and that was incredible.
and it flew the pattern pretty darn good.
Yeah, it did. 415s. It was incredible on that thing.
Yep,
That was a heck of an airplane. The pressure
pressure
little
regulated.
modules. Yeah, pressure regulators looked like the weak point of the system, and even that didn't seem that weak. One central fuel tank and all four motors draw from it. That's pretty darn slick.
And all four motors stopped. Zip,
That just yeah,
zip.
yeah, they did. Yes, they did. I
Steve,
watched
you
them
got
fly.
his hand up. You want to say something, Steve?
Yeah, I'm getting off, so I'll see you
Oh,
guys
shoot.
later.
Poor choice.
All
of
right,
words.
Steve. Hey, thanks for coming
See you
in,
Friday
Steve.
night, Steve.
Yeah.
Take care of
See ya,
yourself.
Steve.
Yep. Bye.
I have
I'll
a
tell you what.
question.
Okay.
If Charles could make me big here. I'll try to hold this up so we can all see.
Hang on a second.
So I'm replacing the cross cross reed that was in there
Right.
with a Teflon reed,
Yeah.
which is one of these little oval deals.
Yeah.
And I've got the spring.
Right.
The spring, which way does this need to be oriented? Straight up and down or across the reed?
I'd say across the reed.
I've done across the reed.
Across. All
That's
right.
the way I've done mine.
That's what we'll do. Because on the reed that came out of it, which was this one,
yeah.
it was straight north and south.
You see on that one though, it doesn't matter. It's going to be across the body of the reed.
The body of the hole, the inlet hole.
Yeah, either way that you put it.
Okay. So with that one, I want to go north and south.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
do.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be firing this up here in a minute, man.
Hold it in your hand.
In your hand.
I still got to replace the gnarled old fuel line on it.
All right.
I'm getting close.
What was
Getting
it last
close.
time, Mike? It was an 010 last time, right?
It was an 010. Yeah, it was.
It's getting older. growing
Well,
up,
that was on his fuel boxer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, John,
yeah,
speaking of airplanes, you didn't have a color palette in mind with that JB Special, did you?
I like yellow.
Yeah.
Easy to see.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean,
It's-
I didn't know if you envisioned like the old, an old plane or warplane, or not warplane, but the that era plane. What it looks like is, with the open cockpit, stuff like that. So
I was thinking some of the Thompson Trophy uh, paint jobs.
It's
I
too
mean,
bad Dennis. It's too bad Dennis isn't here. We could say green.
Oh Lord.
but it could do well in GB colors. It could do well in mystery Travel Air Mystery Ship, the red and the black. That would be kind of cool.
I was thinking, I kind of envisioned the maroon and gold, but I don't know, maroon with gold trim or something. I don't know.
Be careful with gold. It's a bear.
It's heavy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think maybe maroon and black. I mean, have you ever seen the Travel Air Mystery Ship?
Uh-uh.
Look look it up on there to get a color picture of it. It's kind of attractive.
Beautiful
Okay.
airplane. I'm always for those. I'm doing a super sportster, and oh Lord, I'm trying to get everything straightened out on it now. But I think it's going to be yellow, basically yellow with red and black. But you
That
can't
works.
go wrong. You can't go wrong with Diana cream and burgundy, or burgundy and black, or red and black. You
Yep,
can't go wrong with red and black. Period. You
right.
look at my driveway. I've got 3 cars, and 3 of them are red. All 3 of them red and black.
Yep.
Pickup truck and 2 cars.
They're also the lightest colors you can paint.
Yeah.
See, I like yellow because yellow shows right. It's second only to white.
Yellow cover's good.
Yellow can if you put a base coat underneath it.
Put white
Yeah.
underneath it. It works
You
great.
That'll do it right.
You don't put white under yellow, it's not going. You'll take a lot of yellow to
Right.
cover.
No, I
He-
have yellow. I have yellow paint that needs no base coat. I can
He-
spray
he-
it over dark gray primer,
He's
and it
using
comes out as bright as that thing over your shoulder.
automotive paint, and they are different than what we're.
Yeah.
Yeah, dope's different.
That's probably, I don't have any dope, so I'll probably use automotive paint.
Well, like I say, my Pathfinder LE is yellow. It's yellow, marine, and green with black.
I tell you what, if you're thinking about paint and you want a challenge, you've got a Nobler. Try to match that color. That good problem there, Kimosabi.
What color is that? Show that again.
What color is that, Phil?
The Nobler ARF. Try to match
yeah.
that paint color. I mean, that is a pistol. It's
It
not.
is.
I thought it was insignia blue. It's not. I thought
found
it was. I thought it was Mediterranean blue. That's not it either.
It's Caribbean blue.
I think it's
It's what?
sapphire blue.
I thought it was
Sapphire.
more
It's actually
purple.
Caribbean blue.
Caribbean blue sounds more like it.
Yeah, it's Caribbean blue, and it's made by. I found it. Where did I found it? At Stevenson, and it's a House of Color.
House of Color. Okay, I'll look for that then. I tell you what, I repaired the cowling on my Nobler because it got crunched when. Well, it's a long story, but anyway, the nose got crunched, so I tried to repair it. That cowling from the factory weighs about anywhere from a half ounce to just under 5/8 of an ounce. It's light.
That's the
Mine
Top
now-
Flight Nobler.
But yeah, mine now weighs 2.5 ounces. I went out and I said, well, I'm going to try it just to see what happens. It flew great and it landed great, but it didn't stunt. You pull the nose up and it was, come on, baby.
47 coats of paint will do that.
Yeah, well, this was chopped. This was fixed with a chop gun. And I've got to go back in there in the morning. The way you do it is put a grinder on hold a vacuum in your hand and put the cowling coming out of your hand, and then take a Dremel tool, the long narrow one, and go down in that thing with a drum and just start sanding. and just thin that sucker back out, because it's 2.5 ounces is ridiculous.
Yeah. Sparky would say throw it away and start over.
Well,
I think the
question-
cowling on my junkyard dog is about, I think it's 3/10.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, see,
you
the
know
problem is there are no more of these cows. You just can't find one.
You know what I'd be considering doing? It would be to make a mold out of foam and making an epoxy. You know, you'd an epoxy on the outside and then gasoline, take the foam out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's only the thickness of the epoxy you put on there.
I saw one. I found one online. It was made out of fiberglass though, so I don't know how heavy.
They are. They're fiber. Their original were fiberglass.
Because this one is just like fiberglass webbing, not painted or nothing. They're just raw.
You found one?
And well, I've seen the picture. I don't know if it was for sale or not, but every one of them I've seen it for the ARF. That's the blue, Top Nobler ARF, whatever, is discontinued or not in,
Yeah.
don't have or whatever.
Yeah, everybody's out of them.
Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. But
have you tried eBay already, Phil?
Yeah, I tried eBay. I couldn't come up with it. Guy would sell me a whole kit for $225. I said, Bubba, the hobby shop in Greensboro's got a whole kit for $109, and I wouldn't pay that. I'm sure not going to pay $200 and something. I'll build a wooden cow before I'll do that.
That's what I was going to suggest, Phil. Build a wooden cow.
I think that's what we'll end up doing. But I painted it. I built this thing. I'm going to tell y'all before I tell this story. I'll tell you up front. If you ever decide to build an ARF like Top Flight Nobler, don't. You'll spend more time putting the lead out guides in it, the tip weight, putting the 4-inch bell crank in it, and getting everything straightened out. You'll spend more time fooling with the ARF than it would take you to build a kit. Or
I believe it.
To make a kit. So I looked at the thing and I said, a friend gave me the plane and he gave it to me to fix it. And then I heard about the Blue Angel that flew the plane into the ground rather than eject and let the plane go in an apartment complex. And I just said, all right, I'm going to build a Blue Angel number 6 just for him. So I did that, and it flew great until the wind got it. But when it smacked the ground one time, bringing it back has been a real headache. But I have
a guy in Tennessee, Phil.
Yeah, Marine pilot, had 2 kids, wife and 2 kids.
Yeah, we had tickets to the show.
Yeah.
That was at the media show the Friday before.
So what happened? I'm trying to get
he was doing a split S, and his turbocharger, his afterburner stayed on. It would not disengage, and he couldn't get the nose up. And he called in Mayday, and they have not released the actual tapes, but from what I hear from a friend of mine who should be in the know, I'll just leave it at that. He said they told him to eject, and he said the plane will go into the apartment complex. They said eject. He said can't do it, and he pushed. And they saw him push the nose down. Rather than let the plane go kill a bunch of people, he flew it into the ground.
That's a real hero.
Yeah, I think so too.
That is a real hero. That's for sure.
Yeah,
they've got a memorial up there now. It's a life size.
Yeah, they built a memorial.
It was number 2. It was the plane that flew that day as number 2. They renumbered it number 6 and brought it in there and put it on a pedestal.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was I'm Air Force, but I've always loved the Blue Angels. But that guy just had some great big steel ones.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, if anybody finds a couple of cows, let him know. Let me know. I'm liable to buy one just to not have to fool with this. But I think I'm gonna build a wooden one. I just think it'll be lighter and faster.
I wonder if you could mold them. If you could carve one out and then do a.
I've got the original
one.
What I've been thinking about doing. I don't have access to a vacuum former. Well, what I've been thinking about doing is taking the original I have, since it's too heavy to use anyway, and pumping it full of this foam and then cutting it off where I can just use it to make a mold, make 2 mold halves and then put it together and hopefully it'll work. I don't know. I'm going to talk to a buddy of mine tomorrow that's Auto Body Man. He's the one that fixed this one initially. And we'll see if we can't make something that works. If I do, I'll let everybody know. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, well, 2 of us, that needs cowls for those airplanes because they were quite popular. But
I need
tell
one.
you,
A vacuum,
Okay.
a vacuum form is rather easy to build. You take some masonite and you turn around, you take a certain size masonite and you turn around, you drill a whole bunch of holes in it and you build a box around that form. You turn around and then you build a box and you pour a top to that box that's got a bunch of holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn it, the box underneath, you hook your regular vacuum cleaner to it.
You're talking about a vacuum box, just like I pull canopies with.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that hard to make.
Yeah, I've got that.
Phil,
You
Mhm.
use pegboard too.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Pegboard, exactly.
consider
That's what I
making your cowl out of some PET plastic sheet and
a good idea.
forming
Be
it
light.
like you would a canopy.
Yeah, exactly. And then all it takes is some heat. You have a whatchamacallit? You have a
PFP plastic.
heat gun. You just heat it up until it starts getting soft. Turn your vacuum cleaner on, and it will suck it down. Or if you can find one of the old vacuum form, the kids
All
toys.
those things are only 4x4.
The vacuum form toy that's
I had one of those when I was a
all
kid.
over the place.
Yeah, my cousin had one of those when I was a kid. But no, we've done it. We do it for canopies. I built the box. I think it's 18 by 18, and used a piece pegboard in it.
Yep.
And then the trick to it is go inside it and put an X inside of it or something inside of it to keep the center of it from pulling down and deforming your canopy. But you just put a good mold on there, get it hot in the oven, and as soon as you see the plastic start to give, take it out, put it on there, and hit the button.
Exactly. It's really no different.
Okay, I'll give that a try.
And then you could paint the inside of that the paint,
Make
and
it shiny as heck.
got a shiny finish on it already.
Okay,
I'll give
Bill,
that a try.
talking about paint. How many of those cowlings do you need to paint? Are you just gonna do one?
Well, since he needs one and I need one, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to try to do 3 or 4 of them and just have spares. So if somebody needs one, I say, well, I got one on the wall. Okay. Yeah, Mike needs one too. So there's 3.
What I was thinking is I've got House of Color, and I think I still have Caribbean Blue.
Okay.
If you go to the paint shop and buy House of Color, you have to buy a quart of it, and it's going to cost you $90.
Yeah,
okay.
So what I'm thinking is if you know roughly how much paint you need, say if you're doing one cowling, you probably need a half ounce. That would send you 3/4 or an ounce.
Probably need 4. Probably do 4
need
cowling.
4 cowling, so you're going to need about 6 ounces of paint.
Yeah.
Let me go through my stock and I'll see. If you're going to paint the inside, I can send you the base coat.
Okay.
And because the base coat will be shiny through the cowling, through the clear plastic. As long as the clear plastic molds clean, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you're going to paint the outside, I need to send you something that you can clear, and that would need a hardener in it, and I would have to send that in a separate tube. So after you mold these cowlings, let me know what you got going on, and I'll let you know if I still have Caribbean Blue. I know I've got Oriental Blue, and I know I've got, what other blue do I have? I've got Sky Blue, and I've got Oriental Blue, and I think I still have some Caribbean Blue. Last time I used it, it was on a Harley. So, I mean, I'm not sure if it's still here or if I used it up. I'll take a look at my stock. And
Appreciate
if
it.
I have some, I'll mix up a couple of bottles for you ready to spray. And if you need it for the exterior, I'll throw in a separate bottle of hardener and I'll give you the mix ratio.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Which I can give you the mix ratio right now. It's 4-to-1, 4 parts color to 1 part hardener.
Okay.
And it's pretty easy to remember. But
yeah, even I can remember that, I think.
But I'll write it down for you. I'll make it all easy.
Sounds
and it
good.
won't cost you anything because I don't care.
Yeah.
If I
Sounds
have
good
it,
to me.
if I have it, you're welcome to it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's
Not
just
a problem.
I'm trying to get this thing going again. Go ahead.
I've forgotten, Phil, about using the PET plastic. I've got a design I had published back in the early 90s. It's basically a full-bodied pressurized twister, but it's called a twister twister, and it's now legal for vintage or not vintage.
N30.
N30, yeah. Anyway, but I used at that time you can get 1 ounce. Is it 1 ounce? 1 ounce plastic bottles for soda pop. They were round on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I would love to find some of those because it fit perfectly. And I could cut it, and I'd have a round cowl made out of stuff, and I could paint the inside and put little screws on, screw it on, and it looked great. Ran great. Was nice and light.
Yeah.
Well, you could. It dawned on me you could do the same darn thing as you're making a canopy on a vacuum former. Would work perfect.
Yeah, we've done that. That's where I got my early plastic. It's a little flimsy, but it works. Once you put 2 or 3 coats of clear over it, it's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. Another trick, if you ever decide you want to darken your canopy a little bit, everybody always says, well, dye it with RIT dye. No.
Yeah, RIT dye.
RIT dye out in the sun will
fade
out. What you can do is mix up some clear and practice with this. Don't just go doing it on your contest model. Practice on a piece of glass or something. You can take a razor blade and scrape it off. But what I do, I get the canopy, everything ready, and tape off everything but the canopy. And then I put about a 1/4 ounce of clear. I use dope. Now other people use paint, but I use dope. And then I put just 2 drops of black in it, or blue in it, or green, or whatever I'm going to use. And I've used all these colors. And just mix it up real good. It just really lightly tints the clear a little bit. Just take and wisp it on with an airbrush. A good airbrush, not a cheap one. Something that's double. Well, the words escape me now. But good. Yeah, a pache or something is what I use. You put on the first coat and you think that's not dark enough. Okay, wait 30 seconds, do it again.
Yep.
Wait 30 seconds, do it again. You might have 6 coats on there, but you'll get what you want. And the by waiting a little bit, it also doesn't melt your plastic.
Phil,
works great. It's all in getting used to this stuff. It's just experience.
Well, my canopy on my Pathfinder LE. I did exactly how I had clear dope and I put a couple of drops of black in there. Yeah. And I wanted it pretty dark. I wanted you to be able to see that there was a pilot in there, but I wanted it pretty dark. And I sprayed the inside of the canopy. I like doing that because I never have to worried about it
coming off.
Yeah. And it worked great.
You know when I quit doing that so much? When I quit doing that so much, quit making them so dark, it's when I quit doing my own pilots and got Tommy Looper to start carving them for me.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to see the details. So now some of them are clear. When I did it, they were dark.
Well, does the dope not crack if you hit the canopy, or the canopies are flimsy, but
if you bust that canopy, you will have busted. They
if you
become
hit the
pretty darn
canopy,
strong.
it's going to show.
Yeah, it's going to show anyway. I mean,
it'll pop. It'll break the canopy.
But what I have done, I have scratched the canopy so bad that I had to take 400 sandpaper, which is pretty rough on plastic, and sand the canopy to get it clean. And then it looked awful, and I put clear dope over it. And when it was done, it looked like a clean piece of plastic. You never could tell it had been touched.
You know what else
Just take
works?
your time and do a little bit at a time.
You know what else works, Phil? Is
What's
Scotch
that?
Brite.
Yeah, I used Scotch-Brite before I doped it.
Scotch-Brite or also SOS, or not SOS, just steel wool.
4-aught steel wool.
Yeah, I've done that.
4-aught steel wool works great.
Yeah, it does.
I use double-aught steel wool on my guns when I'm trying to clean up a blemish or a little rust spot.
I thought you used double-aught inside your guns when you wanted to clean up a lot out in front of you.
Well, I do that too.
It'll do that.
The double-aught stuff is nice for taking care of, like the hunting rifles that are out in the elements all the time, in and out. You know, you always get a little surface here and there, but the double-aught takes it off really nice without scratching the finish.
Does the steel wool work better than Scotch-Brite, or have you tried Scotch-Brite?
I've just always used double-aught. I've just got a big stash of double-aught steel wool.
I just got Scotch-Brite and started using it, but it works great too. But I've always wondered, the guys I shoot with, hunt with, they buy this gun, they buy two guns, one to look at apparently and enjoy, and then one to hunt with. I buy one and I do everything with it. They all ask me, how do you keep that gun looking that good when you crawl around out in the woods with it? Do you not clean it up when you get home?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I can't afford to buy two guns every gun that I buy.
I can't either.
And I don't have any beauty queens, man. I mean, my stuff, I use it, I shoot it, it goes in the woods. It's whatever's going to happen to it happens to it because it's being used the way it's intended to be used. My wife's got a couple of nice trap and skeet guns that are beauty queens, but those don't go out quail hunting or pheasant hunting, you know.
Yeah.
Mike's guns sound like my airplane stash.
Well, Mike's like me, he uses them. I buy them to use, not to look at them.
Because I use them. And I don't cry if they get a little scratch on them or a little nick or something. If I'm out there doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's just part of the story of the history of that firearm, you know?
Yeah, I used to hunt with a Weatherby at 300 Magnum. Nice rifle.
I got a new my 308. I just bought one that reach out to 600 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about your Weatherby, John.
Say what?
Tell us about your Weatherby, John.
Well, the Weatherby went everywhere I went hunting, you know, and it turned out if it got a little nick or a little bump, which it didn't very often because I took care of it. But what it did, that little nick or bump was part of the story or the lore of that particular rifle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Battle scars.
Well, you can say, I got this when I fell against a rock pile when I missed that a 6-point buck, you know?
Yeah.
Or when I got that 6-point buck.
Yeah, I've got a round knobbed Browning humpback that my kids are all fussing I want that one when you're gone. I want that one when you're gone. My daughter wants the AR-15. She's welcome to it. She's the only one knows I take the darn thing apart, put it back together, other than me. But my other daughter wants the humpback, and then the grandkids all want pistols.
Are you talking about a Browning A5?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's an old one, but it's a good one. Everybody says, "Why do you still hunt with that thing?" Because I hit what I aim at with this.
One showed up at my local gun shop here. It came from an estate sale.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's had maybe 100 rounds put through it.
Oh man.
And they want $915 for it.
About right for, yeah.
Yep. Now I imagine they're negotiable on that, but
you find them pretty beat to hell at gun shows for in the $500 to $600 range, but a really decent A5 is going to run you $700 to $1,400.
Yeah, they're expensive.
The thing I don't like about it is they're just heavy. They're too heavy. You know, I mean, they're great
too heavy
for what
to carry.
they are and what they were, but they're heavy. They're heavy. But
they are heavy, but it's just whatever you get used to. I carry it all day long, and it doesn't bother me. But I did one time take my brother-in-law's Ithaca, I think it is. It was one he thought was cheap, and it's a skeet gun. I went shooting skeet with it. That's nice, but he's got another gun. I don't even know what it is, but this thing is several $1,000s for the wood, not the barrel or the works, just the wood.
Yeah.
And that one is really nice, but I'd be scared to carry that thing out.
Well, the nice thing about some of these guns, like that A5 and the Ithaca, now you know it, is you can stand outside a circle while those control line planes go flying by. You can have
it. No, don't shoot my plane down.
Now that's called combat.
Hey, now that's a great idea for a contest right there. We'll have it right here in Tennessee, man. We'll bring out our beater ringmasters and flight streaks, and we'll stand on the side with scatter guns and try to blow them out of the air, man.
You don't want me to get a shot because it won't get by me.
Goodness, look at that.
Good grief. That's when you want to reach out and touch someone way out.
That will reach out and touch somebody, that's for sure. That's semi-automatic 50 caliber.
That hurts.
That's a mile. That's got a good range out to a mile or more in the right hand.
Have you ever seen a Quigley gun?
Yeah.
It's a is it a 45 or a 40? Is it 45 or 50 cal? I can't remember. But the bullet, they call it a lipstick gun.
Yeah.
The bullet's about that long.
Yeah.
Well, I got the bright idea. I really wanted to shoot one of these things. Well, I've got a good friend I've known since I was 4 years old. He's a good friend of my older brother. He's a gunsmith, and he knows a lot of people. He builds guns. He tricks out guns for military. I told Doug, I really want to shoot a Quigley, a real Quigley, not one of these things that the guys are telling me it's a rolling block. I want to shoot a falling block, which is what a Quigley is.
Yep.
And I want to shoot one. So he called me one day, and I met him at our local gun club. It's not really too local, but anyway, it's our local gun club. Anyway, he lays 6 bullets out on the counter. He says, shoot that target. And the target is 200 yards away. I said, Doug, are you kidding? He says, shoot the target. So he brings the sight up, and he sets it and gets it just right. He said, trust me, this is what you need.
Well, I hit the sight.
I think that's what you call it. It's ones that slides up. You pick it up, and it slides up and down. I hit the target, which is more than I expected. But that gun don't go bang. It goes whoosh. And you step back a step when you shoot it. And, I mean, it's black powder.
Yep.
And you shoot that puppy, and, I mean, you better be ready for it because it is serious deal. That movie where Tom Selleck goes boom, 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 bull.
Well, if you're trained,
Tom Selleck ain't that big.
Yeah.
But if you're trained and you're used to shooting it and that, I can believe it.
I guess, but I tell you what, it would take a lot of getting used to. That is a beast of a weapon.
I used to shoot a 54 caliber black powder rifle. You know,
I did too. One shot, yeah, something like that.
That's your 1874 Sharps. I think it's 4570.
That's a nice gun.
How
Look at
much
the price on that puppy. Look at the price on that puppy. When I bought mine, it was about $800 somewhere around in there. Look at that thing now, $24, $29.
That second one over on the bottom line there is showing the Tang mounted rear sight. There it is.
Mine's rear. Yeah, mine's rear sight mounted.
That's the rear. Yeah, but that's the way Quigley had his set up.
Yeah, that's the way mine's set up. But I tell you what, that's a good mine. Now mine's not a full Quigley. Mine's a 50 caliber, but it's not a Quigley. That's a monster of a gun right there. But you hit a deer with that, you take him off his feet.
Oh yeah.
You guys help me. What is Minnesota Mike saying? He's saying 45-70. What is that?
It's
45-70. That's the caliber.
Okay.
45 caliber 70 is the length of the cartridge.
It's about as big as your index finger around and maybe a little longer.
It kicks like a mule.
They're monsters.
45-70 is about. I've got a lever action Marlin in my cabinet in there. Never been caught.
They are a brush cutting, long range shooter. They were designed during the Indian Wars because they had to have enough firepower to knock guys off their horses.
I'll tell you what.
Can I tell my 45-70 story?
Go ahead.
A buddy of mine, this was just like 3 years ago. His grandfather passed away, and he inherited, I don't know, 24 guns or so. And
2 dozen. Wow.
We took them out. Well, between him and his brother, they split them up. They went to the grandkids, and we went out shooting. We were camping, guys' weekend camping at my buddy's property. Todd brings all these guns out. Well, one of them is a Derringer over under in 45-70. John,
A wrist break.
Please tell me you had better sense than to shoot that.
we all shot it.
Oh,
So there was about 9 of us out there that shot this 45-70 Derringer with a 3-inch barrel. Well, I think it probably had a 1/4-inch barrel because the shell's 2.5 or whatever. And
Wow.
we only put one in it. We didn't load both barrels. We only put one in it.
$25 a shot.
8 of us tried to shoot that gun, and only 2 of us were able to hold on to it. I was one of the 2 that was able to hold on to it. Everybody else that shot it, the gun went right over their head, out of their hand.
yeah.
Right over their head, out of their hand.
But the bullet still went ahead, right?
Well, yeah, the bullet's gone. But
Okay,
that the
good.
recoil just because
Wow.
Charles, the Derringer, the gun is only about 4 inches long.
It's
Got a 3-inch 45-70
Wow.
shell in it, and the
It-
grip
he's-
on a Derringer is very tight, very small. That's the whole.
We'll get 2 fingers.
Very concealable, very small, and yeah, I couldn't even imagine trying to cock it again to get a backup shot. You know what I mean? To do.
Yeah.
It was a joke. It was just a goof, and we all tried to shoot it, and 6 out of 8 of us lost it over their heads. And everybody got the hand sting, and like their wrists were hurting, and it was just ridiculous. Long story short, that one got sold on Arms List shortly after that. Todd didn't bother.
I bet so.
He brought it out to shoot because it was his grandpa's, and it was the lark, man. Let's all try to shoot this thing. It was impossible to hold on to. So,
Have you heard of it? Have you heard of it?
Let me close the show down, and you guys can continue on. It's 9:30, I guess 12:30, wherever you're else at. But hey, sorry everybody for the abrupt ending of the previous stream. This is the second. This is part 2, and but part 1 had almost 20 people watching, and it's unfortunate it ended all of a sudden. So, anyways, thanks for coming in, and we will see you again Friday, same bat channel, same bat time, and we'll see you later.
Y'all heard of the gambler's
Charles,
gun called a duck's foot?
Heard about it.